We are going to study about resources and their development, chapter number 1. Turn your textbook page 90. Now, what is resources? Humans fulfill their needs, that is, food, shelter, and clothing from the natural environment. Okay? The extent to which these materials can be used depends upon the level of development and technology and expertise of the users. For example, the rubber trees that grew in the world in the Amazon basin had no use till the Industrial Revolution, when the discovery of tire took place. Thus, only those natural substances can be called resources that are freely available in our surroundings, are economically feasible, and can be utilized to fulfill human requirements. In simple words, resources means anything which satisfy human needs. Okay? Mishing te hianin kan ei tur sil le fen le kan chen tur in le lo te hi environment, natural environment atang kan dong kan mu thei china. Heng materials te hi mason na technology awangin kan tipung thei chini. Entirna na Amazon basin na rubber tree kan ti te khu industrial revolution ma chonin ai enge tayar siam na atang ka yang ti ka kan shelawa industrial revolution no hian tayar siam na thani ti ka kan lo the chuak thara I resources kan ti chuanin thil engpo kan momo phusuk thei reng reng ang chia kha resources kan ti chuni. Now, characteristics of resources. All the resources available on the earth are useful as they provide the basic necessities and comfort to human beings. Okay? Certain resources regenerate over a short span of time, while others, such as minerals, need to be used judiciously as they cannot be replenished easily. Resources zong zong te hi kan momo blpui poshuk tu te anni ba ka mishingin nun khwa nuam zo kan nei thina tur tan an poimo hle ni. Resources thenkhat chu reilo te chunga in siam thar le mai thei an omlain thenkhat chu in siam thar le tura kum engemaw sat nga ngai te an om thina ni. The resources exist as natural endowments and acquire value added only when people start harnessing them for their use. Okay? In this context, the usability of a resource changes with the development in science and technology. Kan soi to ang khan atira kan chana resource ni thing si lo. Science thiam na manga ti danglam nuwa resource ni thei chau te pokhan omve tika kan shatel kha angai bokani. Now, types of resources. On the basis of availability, resources can be classified as natural resources and human-made resources. Okay? Natural resources are those resources which are available in nature. For example, land, water, soil, minerals. Human-made resources are those resources which are created by man's skills and knowledge. They are also known as cultural resources. For example, engineering, technology, knowledge. Types of resources hi availability abesa mangin sinhia anchena pakhatna chuanin natural resources antia nature atanga kan nei thei ma kan mamo pusuk thei thil te kha natural resources anti chunita a entirna na land kan ti te water kan ti te soil teni le ta a tin panhina chuan human made resources anti ta a hi chu mishing thiam na le fin na manga resource ni thing chau ang chi kha hi cultural resources anti boka entirna na engineering kan ti ang chi te technology kan ti ang chi te knowledge kan ti ang chi te mo ka ngaw ka human made resources ani. On the basis of their origin, natural resources are classified into two categories, that is, biotic and abiotic resources. Okay? Abesatan origin manglein natural resources sakha sini anchen le a biotic le abiotic resources anchen ne ni. Biotic resources These included all living organisms such as plants, animals, birds, fishes. Okay. Abiotic resources. These are obtained from non-living things such as rocks, air, soil, and water. Okay. Biotic resources kan ti chu living organism mo living organism nun na nei kan ti ang chi khani a entirnan plants te animals bird te ni ta abiotic resources kan ti ve thung he chu nun na nei lo non living organism atanga kan nei te entirnan rocks air soil kan ti khani le ta ni chuan a then thum na hian a base satan ownership mangin. On the basis of ownership, resources may be classified into 4. Number 1, individual resources. These are owned privately by an individual. For example, people in urban areas own houses, plots, and other forms of property, while farmers in rural areas may own plots of land on which they practice agriculture. Okay. Individual resources kan ti thunga hi chu individual ani angin mimal ta tu ma trom ve theilo resources khani a entirnan house te in te mo plots of land thla enge rural area a thingtlanga lo nei tu ten an thlai chin hmun ang chi te property nei sum ro sum kan ti ang chi te khatianga kha individual resources ani. Number 2, community owned resources. These resources are meant for use by all members of community. For example, public parks, playground, open grazing of land kan ti ang chi khani ta. Community owned resources ay chuan in van tlang ina kan in trom tlan the resource ni ta entirnan kan soi to ang khan playground te parks te shopping mall kan ti ang chi khani. Number 3, national resources. All resources essentially belong to the nation. If the need arises, even private property may be legally acquired by the government. All minerals, forests, and land with political boundaries, an area of the ocean with 19.2 km from the coast belong to the nation. Okay. National resources kan ti hi chu ram chung nation ina kan man tlan thei resource ani a entirnan India ram chung a cheng kan ni angin India rama kan man thei resource akhani India ram chunga kan man thei resources kan ti akhani entirnan India rama minerals kan lai chua ang chi te ramgo tele political boundary kan ti ang chi te hi national resources te anni. Now, international resources. All the resources lying beyond 200 km of exclusive economic zone in the oceans are known as international resources. As international resources, they belong to the open oceans, and no individual country can use these without the approval of international agencies. Okay. International resources to international ni anga ramdang ne na kan man ho the exclusive economic zone kilometer zani pialam ti lova resources zong zong te kha international resources kan ti chone. Now, on the basis of continued availability of resources, resources may be classified into 2, renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Now, renewable resources. This can be reproduced or replenished within a short period of time through natural, mechanical, or chemical processes. For example, solar energy, wind energy. Okay. Renewable resources kan ti hi chu natural, mechanical le chemical process mga reilo te chunga insiam thar le thei resources kan ti ang chi ho khani a entirnan solar energy kan ti ang chi te wind energy te hian ni. Non-renewable resources. Non-renewable resources also called exhaustible resources. They are formed over millions of years. The total quantity of such resources is limited and their amount decreases with use. They cannot be replenished once they are depleted since their rate of formation is extremely slow. Okay. non-renewable resources kan ti hi exhaustible resources an ti boka reilo te chunga in siam thar zung theilo in siam thar le tur chuan kum engemaw zat nga angai ang chi hi non-renewable resources kan ti chu ni a entirnan petroleum te minerals kan ti ang chi te hi ni. Now on the basis of stage of development of resources, resources may be classified into 3 groups. Potential resources. These are those resources which are known to exist but are not being used. Okay? Potential resources kan ti hi chu resources ni reng si atang kai na le ahlut na kan hriat mai thei si lawang chi hi entirnan lui luang ti irrigation na tan le power siam chona tan tia kan en mei chon kan shelawa atang kai ani ti kha kan shelawa amai ro chu thiam te fin na te tho khomin technology mangkhanin power siam na atan te khan aman the ni ti kha asiam chwa the ni ti kha hriat ani. Now develop resources. Resources that have been surveyed and their quality and quantity have been determined and are being presently used are called developed resources. Okay? Developed resources kan ti chu resources kan enfia vek no a an tamlam te eng anga thangi an ni ti siam fel a man tangkai the ang chi kha developed resources kan ti chu technology te nena man tangkai the ang chi kha mo. Now reserve and stock resources. The part of an actual resource that can be developed profitably with available technology in future is called reserve resources. The part of resource that cannot be developed profitably because of lack of technology is called stock resources. Reserve resources to future hun lo la om tur atana technology mga tangkai taka lok taka resource kan man thei hi ani a stock resources kan ti heroi chu technology tlak chama wanga lok nama sona atana man thei lo resources kan ti ho khane. Now on the basis of distribution of resources, resources may be classified into 2: ubiquitous resources and localized resources. Ubiquitous resources. These resources are found everywhere and so they can be used easily by all. Okay? Ubiquitous resources kan ti hi chu resources mun tina ol sam taka tu te po ina kan man tangkai ngal thei mei ang chi kha entirnan water kan ti ang chi te sunshine mo air soil kan ti ang chi te kha ubiquitous resources ane. Now localized resources. The natural endowments that are specific to an area or are concentrated in a particular region are called localized resources. Localized resources kan ti chu resources omna mun big nei mo an omna mun big chawa ang chi mun tina mu tur lawang chi omna mun big nei ang kha localized resources kan ti chu entirnan fossil fuel te coal iron ore kan ti ang chi hawa kha localized resources te an name. That's all for today.